Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Walking in Her Shoes with my beautiful co host, Makira. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing? I hope everyone out there is well.
I, I do too. I hope everybody is doing well. The sun is still shining and all is well. We have a very interesting topic for us today. So, ladies, lean in. We're going to talk about taking better care of our girl parts. This
Yes.
is a very needed topic to be talked about and discussed. It's
Mhm.
something that I keep saying is that we're not passing on the secrets and the tips and or the hacks to our next generation, and I think it's very important that we do that. There's some things that my mom taught me that I passed on to my daughters, but that I still use to this day, and we'll
Yes.
talk a little bit about that later. But I know you have some information that you want to share with us, so take it away.
All right. Absolutely. Doctor, I have a book written by Dr. Jackie Walters, and it's called The Queen V. The Queen V. And if you don't mind, I'll show you, just give you a quick glimpse of the book, The
Mm,
Queen V by Dr. Jackie Walters. And in this book, the doctor talks a lot about sex, intimacy, and how to better care for our girl parts from the perspective of African American or a Black woman. So I really appreciate, as I've been going through it, kind of skimming through it, not so much reading the book in its entirement. It's a really good book to reference when you're looking for something to quickly skim or look or read over when you're interested in anything in particular about our parts. And so she has what's called the 10 vaginal hygiene commandments, which I thought were really interesting. And how
okay.
this topic came about to me in my mind, I have my daughter, and I grew up with a bunch of cousins, and we have children now, females, and we talk to our daughters a lot about the care of our girl parts. We call them flowers,
That's cute.
and we in the book the doctor references them as flowers as well. And when she gives descriptions about the our girl part, she actually says, "Is do you have a tulip?" Or she's named them different um, flowers, and she gives an illustration of that, what it should actually look like if it's that type of flower.
Oh,
So this topic came about to me in discussion with some other ladies that I was talking with, and one of the ladies said, "Hey, Makira, did you know that we aren't supposed to actually use soap in our area or douche?" And I looked at her because we're all middle-aged women. And I'm thinking to myself, I knew that. Why don't you know that? And it made me think, hmm, we all don't know how to properly care for ourselves.
no.
So, and I guess some people would say, well, it's that of opinion, whether or not you douche or not. That's an opinion. Well, actually, when our bodies carry a pH level, it's probably, and you're kind of figuring out like, dang, why is it that I have this kind of reaction when I do this? Or you might not even put the two together, that when you dish, you are throwing off the balance of your pH, and that may cause you to have discharge that might not be so comfortable within your body. So I like to kind of go over the 10 commandments that she has for hygiene for
Before you
our.
go over the those 10 commandments,
Mhm.
explain to us a little bit more about the soap, about the not using soap.
That is in the 10 commandments, which I was pretty
Oh,
excited, which is why I'm going to go over the 10 commandments, because she
okay.
talks about it, and I'm going to read some of the what she says there. So,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
No.
So we're going to start with, thou shall not wear silky smooth undies. We like to keep our girl parts really nice and cute, right? We like to dress them up, make them all fancy, make sure they match our outerwear, all that good stuff. We like flowers, lace, silk. We love everything that feels good across our hips, right? I know I do.
Exactly. Yeah. Uh-oh.
However, some materials don't allow our lady parts to breathe the way they appropriately need to breathe. So if you are going to wear underwear that is going to be of different materials and different style, make sure the crouch itself is lined with cotton so that your part, your lady parts or your flower can breathe.
Okay.
It talks about when they're not able to breathe, it kind of just holds all of that in one space. And can you think about a space that's moist and dark? What happens to it?
Yeah, you get when they say mold and mildew, you get odor.
Yeah, you get odor. And
Get
that's what
odor.
happens to our flower when we're wearing underwear or tight clothing for too long and things of that nature. It just creates a breeding ground for bacteria and things like that for it to grow there in that area.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's why we recommend that.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
Yes.
We were taught back in the day not to get colored underwear, or if you did, use a panty liner.
Use a panty liner for the
Right.
same very reason, because the dye that's, and I think, and I don't know for sure, but I do believe that some manufacturers have gotten better about it. How to, women are making a louder voice about how to take better care of our bodies. And so we're demanding more from our companies. And then also they talk about being careful about what type of detergents you use when you're
Yes.
cleaning your
Yes.
underwear.
Yes. I use the no chemicals added, no, just, and I don't want to say the brand, but it's a clear. And then so and it
Right.
actually comes out clear, no fragrance or anything. And actually me and my youngest daughter, we fight about this all the time because she likes to have that strong laundry detergent smell in her clothes. And so,
Mhm.
and I tell her that's what causes our skin to itch, no less than causing our, and I'm going to adopt that. I think that's really cute. I'm going to adopt that with my granddaughter,
Mhm.
the flower. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so the detergents, those that cause the irritation in the skin,
Right.
so yeah, so I
Right.
get that. I get that. That's a good one though.
Yes. Very important. So thou shall not, it says thou shall practice the pat down. What
Okay.
do you think the pat down might be about, Dr. Liz?
Well, the pat down, I'm thinking when you urinate, you pat instead of wipe.
Yes, that's what she's saying. So she's
Okay.
saying, first of all, some of us will wipe inappropriately.
Mhm.
We should be wiping from front to back instead of
Mhm.
back to front, because you don't want to you want to make sure that you're not getting fecal matter from your rectum into your flower, because that'll create bacteria, right? And infection.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if you wipe from the front to the back, then that prevents from the fecal matter from getting in places where it shouldn't be. But then at the same time, if you just want to be sure that you got everything, to just pat yourself, almost like you're dabbing your skin. You want to pat yourself versus the wipe to make sure you got everything. You want to
Yeah.
pat.
Yeah. I could actually see that. I'm going to try and adopt that because
Yes.
yeah, because then you don't even leave the little cottony residue, or
Yes.
you don't have to go search for it.
Right. Right. Instead of wiping it
So,
down.
absolutely. That's good. I like that. I like that.
She says after urinating, just take the toilet paper and push it into your urethra and vagina as if you're gently touching your face with blotting paper. You'll never wipe the wrong way again. Is what she says.
Wow. That's a
Yeah,
good one. That's a
I
good to
thought
pat
so
down.
too.
Okay.
So to pat down.
All right.
Number 3 of the commandments, remember to pee post sex. So in other words, go to the bathroom, ladies, after you have sex. Because when we bump into grinding,
Mhm.
we will get different body fluids in our urethra and in your other small holes that we have there. And that's the other thing too I like about her book, is she gives us a diagram of what we look like for some of us who haven't really actually looked at ourselves and really
Mm-hmm.
truly examined ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have like that little dab tissue that we talk about, or urination or other body fluids that may get into the urethra, it may cause a urine infection.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Not a urine infection, excuse me, but
Urinary tract.
a urinary tract infection. Yes, a
We got
UTI.
we got each other. It's a lot to know. It's a lot to remember as a female. So we got each other. I wanted to say that when you said that pee post sex, I'm like, man, that means no more just laying there and cuddling and all that other stuff. You got to get up and handle your business and then come back.
Yes, then come back. Quickly tiptoe to the bathroom and say, "Baby, I'll be right back."
Be right back. It's the way, and it's the way you exit too. So right? Okay.
Go urinate. Go
Freshen
and make
up a little.
sure that you take care of that area so that you don't get a UTI.
Yeah. That's good.
Important. Yes. Fourth is thou shalt not soak more than shower. Now, some of us love a good bath all the time.
No soaking?
No soaking. So she's saying what she recommends is we should actually be taking more showers than we are taking baths. Some of us take baths daily. So she recommends that we only take baths once a week versus taking a bath every single day.
You said no soaking other than in the shower?
Soaking other than in the shower. So she said
Okay.
it's okay to soak, but don't soak every day.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a short paragraph that she has. She says,
okay.
We all need to slip into the bathtub for a muscle melting, luxurious soak. And every once in a while, and trust and believe, I do agree with that. We all need to do that every now and again. She says, but make sure you spend more time standing in a tub than you do sitting down, marinating your V or your flour in perfumed, soapy, and dirty water ups your risk of vaginitis. It says, keep your soaks to once a week, if at all. Yes.
So, okay, I can understand that I can understand that. And even like with the different, the fragrant body soaps and stuff like that, I can see that. Okay. Okay.
That's what she says. So if we do it once a week, okay. I may not do it. Maybe not to do it every day on a daily basis.
Okay. Now, something that right when we're talking about the baths and everything, I just want to, step into the naturopathic arena and just kind of put that caution out there for women who have been taught, hold on to your seat. You might want to put your seatbelt on.
Okay. I'm ready.
Women that have been taught to soak in bleach.
Oh, I've heard of that before too.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend that they washed their dishes in bleach and they also put a cap full of bleach in their bath water because, again, this is generational. This is what is being taught. But if if you really go back and do your research on what bleach has in it, it even just the dangers of having the bleach in the house because the fumes still seep from the plastic into your air, so it contaminates your air as well.
Okay.
So, but so if it's that toxic, when you think about it seeping through, if it's that toxic, think about what it does if you're actually, and you, like you said, not once a week, but she was taking a bath every day and soaking in it.
And our membranes are so thin in that area. It's very, very thin. And I'm not sure that we even understand the complexity of our body. And I'm not a doctor. I don't want to say, I'm not saying all this to say I'm a doctor, but when we do research, you should know your body. We all should take the time out to really get to learn our bodies and understand our bodies, because then we will learn a lot more of how we operate day to day, and we can make things a whole lot better for ourselves in the end. But how thin that membrane is, it is a very thin area. The skin is very thin and is very sensitive. And that's why our flowers are made the way that they are, because that area is so sensitive. So yeah,
absolutely. Now my mom, she was really just really open about things, and she was just we could come to her and we could talk to her about different things and everything, or it didn't matter. She just said, bring it out, just say it. And so one of the things that she used to tell us that we should do was use a mirror, because it's like, know your body and know what it looks like and all of that. So she'd have us either get a mirror, you know, and ladies, I mean, I guess this is a ladies to all ladies kind of episode today. But she say, stand over and grab a mirror and just stand over it so you can actually see what your body looks like. You should know your body better than anybody else.
Anybody else, you're right. And then Dr. Walters recommends the same thing. Get a mirror and just examine yourself. Take the time out to get to know yourself a whole lot better. Get very acquainted with yourself. Very acquainted with yourself. Yes. You should know you better than anyone. You put it perfectly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, thou shall not double dip is number 5. I'm gonna read this one.
Okay.
It says, dear notorious VAGs, if you are trying to make sex twice as nice by having vaginal and anal intercourse in the same night, make sure you dip, pause, and then dip again. You need a quick intervention to get a new condom or have your man wash up in between. What happens in Vegas, your anus, needs to stay in Vegas. Don't let bacteria hitch a ride from Sin City to Reno, your vagina, just because you didn't want to ruin the moment. The same holds true for the return trip. So basically, ladies, what she's saying is you do not, after anal sex, you do not want to have traditional sex or intercourse, because you transfer bacteria from your rectum or your anus into your vagina, and then that'll create infections on top of infections on top of infections, which in the end, I don't think that they're the most pleasant thing to deal with.
Absolutely. So. And you said something that she said, which I think was very important. Communication. If you are so close to somebody that you're actually having intercourse with them, there should not be anything that you can't say to them as far as, you know, you not wanting them to enter front and go back and front and go back. And sometimes our women have been taught not to, not to express themselves and to keep quiet. And so when you take that into the bedroom, now you are actually putting yourself in harm's way by not saying something. You know, and then I have to always caution and remind our ladies, it's not what you're saying. You have to tell yourself it's how you are saying it.
Right.
You know, and sometimes a person or a man will get defensive if you are, the way that you're saying it to him makes him feel like he should have known better, because if nobody has taught him or said anything to him, in his past, sexual encounters, then how is he to know? But if you say it in a way that's going to embarrass him, then he is going to be defensive and defend himself. And then there you have an issue, or you've created an issue. Right. They say you can get more bees with honey than vinegar. So you got to put some honey on the words. Let me see what she said about honey.
But not to kind of take this to a different topic, but just another conversation than what you're describing. A lot of men aren't even aware of different sexual infections that they can pass along to women when they don't even have symptoms themselves, that they'll be passing on to their female partners. So when we have multiple partners and we may not be using protection with all our partners, we could be passing on infections or sexually transmitted infections. And a woman will show symptoms and the man doesn't show symptoms, and he's accusing her of having sex with someone else, when it could be all possible that it's him who actually is carrying the infection and passing it along to his partner.
Absolutely.
So that is another reason why, ladies, we need to make sure that our men, our partners are, and not whomever you choose to be intimate with, they're taking care of themselves and their bodies, because when you're not protecting yourself, then you're passing along things unknowingly that you don't want to. And it's it's about communication. As long as we learn to communicate with one another about your values and taking care of your body, then it should be just fine. You shouldn't have any problems there.
One other point that I want to talk about, especially when we're talking about passing on a UTI or an infection, I mean, if you want to get to the nitty gritty of it, if you will,
Mhm.
we talked about if you're, getting to know your own body, but also getting to know the body of your partner. Because
Yes,
if you decide that that your partner, and I mean, if you decide a partner that has not been circumcised, it is also important that you still educate yourself on his body, and because he may not even know how to clean himself,
right,
properly, being uncircumcised. So now again, he's passing on infection to you, and it may not even be another party involved. It can just be
right,
he's not cleaning himself well because he's
right.
not circumcised.
He's
So
not
there's a
aware.
lot of things that we miss out with if we don't properly communicate, and we don't learn how to just be honest and upfront with our partners.
Right, exactly. I don't know why that's so difficult for us sometimes.
Why is it difficult for people to even just communicate and just be honest with each other?
Okay. Yeah, transparency, vulnerability is one of those very difficult things when it comes to relationships, period, of all kinds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
all
not get
righty.
too far off topic.
All right. Because we can go
Yes,
with that one. That's a great.
we can.
All right, number six. We'll be obedient to our number six.
Number 6, honor thy aroma.
Mm.
I know a lot of us like to feel like we're supposed to smell like roses. However, Andre 3000 said, but he was talking about something else very close to the area there. But she says your vaginal flower might look like a tulip, but it's not designed to smell like one.
Hmm.
So please stop trying to be a budding florist. Again, you're throwing off your vagina's pH. Skip the scented pads and tampons, deodorant sprays, and perfumes. Already, what she say, excuse me, already have some on your shelf, toss them right in the trash. Seriously, right now. She'll wait. She said she'll take her time. She'll pause. She'll take a break. She stopped writing. I'm gonna let you go throw those things away right now.
Okay. We're gonna take a, what is it, public service announcement.
Yes.
Go do it. It's a good idea. Yeah, yeah. Those, yeah. Toss
Yeah.
them. Toss them.
Just toss them all.
Wait, wait a minute. I don't even think to repurpose those. I don't even think they have enough sense to be repurposed. So toss them.
Awesome. Get rid of them. And so that segues into her number 7, thou shalt not douche, period. No douching. Again, because that is something that throws off your pH. It says there are no proven benefits, health benefits to douching. None. There are, however, plenty of drawbacks. Douching can push bacteria all the way into your cervix, allowing it to travel to your fallopian tubes. Oh, excuse me, I lost my place. Fallopian tubes and your abdomen. This increases your risk for pelvic inflammatory disease or PID, pregnancy if you've had unprotected sex, and more. So she goes further into her book and talks about how douching can be harmful to our bodies.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty.
So something that you and I have talked about in subsequent sessions here was watching what we eat, being careful
Mm.
about the things that we eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We talk about that part of it, and I was thinking about that too when you talked about honor thy aroma, and
Mm-hmm.
in the, like, the foods that we eat, and because I know garlic is good for you, onions are good for you and such, but if you overdo either of those, it'll come out in your pores. But the same
Mm-hmm.
thing if you eat a lot of pineapples, and I'm not saying a lot, or don't overdo or live in anything, but if you
Right.
eat pineapples, then that also sweetens the flour.
Right. It sweetens
Um,
the flavor.
Absolutely, and drinking enough water so that your urine isn't coming out smelling like ammonia, or smelling like too strong. So drinking enough water, and just I mean, all of that plays a big part, and we kind of forget those things.
Right. So in a sense, like if we're eating unhealthy things like refined sugar, high amounts of refined sugar, and then those other types of foods that are processed, it comes out of our body. So it may not smell very well, or it just may not properly function like it should, or like we think it should. You like, dang, it was working fine the other night. Why it ain't working fine tonight?
Right,
Well,
right.
it might have something to do with what you ate today.
Absolutely. Or not drinking enough water, and now you are, you know, the,
Right,
the
right.
hydrant is cut off.
For example, I don't know about you, Dr. Liz, but I love asparagus.
I do
I
too. Yeah.
love asparagus. And whenever
Yes.
I eat asparagus, I always brace myself for the smell that I will receive when I urinate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's
And
a
then too,
strong smell.
yes. And guess what though? Some vitamins, especially vitamins with a lot of iron in it.
Yes. And
So
she
you
mentioned that, the
does
salt.
she?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to, as much as you're taking in, you have to rinse it out. The body, and I used to tell my daughters that drinking enough water is like taking a bath on the inside every day. Just like
Yeah.
you run through the water and take a shower, you have to do the same thing. Give your insides a shower or a bath, because if you don't, they're going to smell as well.
That is very, very true. And I'm learning that myself. And
Okay.
I have to figure out a way. I try to take in at least 50 ounces of water. And I know I should be drinking way more than that. But I
Mm-hmm.
cannot figure out the way to intake, to up my intake for water.
Yeah, what works for me, and sometimes I slide off too and get real busy and say, oh man, I forget, because then my mouth gets dry. But what
Mhm.
I've done is I use like these little bottles, and so that's my green drink, and I have to finish that today too. But getting in all of that fluid, I try to remember that before I leave the house, if I can take a bottle when I get up after I brush my teeth and everything, take a bottle. Then when I finish getting dressed, take in another bottle. Now I've drank 16 ounces, 32 ounces already before I left the house.
That's
And
smart. Okay.
then on my drive in or what have you. And then once you start drinking the water like that, you're actually going to, once you drink it like that, you are going to your body's going to regulate itself, so you won't be going, but at first you're going to go to the bathroom, but it seems like every 5 minutes. But after
Okay.
your body gets used to taking in all that water, then your body is no longer in, I'm in dehydration mode, or I'm in, it's like, oh, I got to hold on to this because I don't know when I'm going to get more.
Okay.
So your body will start regulating, and you'll start to be able to go, at a good rate instead of every 5 minutes. But every
Okay.
time you miss out on it, your body goes back into that mode. I'm not going to get it. And then our
Mhm.
bodies are built so amazing. Like our
Mhm.
triggers and all of the things that our body is built just a phenomenal working machine,
It
I
is.
say.
It
Yeah.
is.
So,
It truly is. I like to read her little paragraph that she has, excuse me, not her little paragraph, but her much in-depth paragraph
okay.
of what we should eat. She says good foods for your flour include probiotic rich Greek yogurt, which can keep a healthy bacterial balance, soy, which may help with vaginal dryness. Ever heard of cum punch? It's basically fruits like pineapple, papayas, and apples. Men sometimes eat to try to make their semen taste better. You can dive into a fruit salad too to make a little yum punch for your partner. There's zero proof that it works, but there's no harm in trying to make trip down south lead to tropical waters.
Just love the way everything is like, oh, so wonderful. I love her
You're ready
analogies
for
of everything.
it. Yum punch and cum punch.
I know, right? Well, I have a little hack here for ladies that are experiencing vaginal dryness. Coconut oil.
Oh, okay.
Coconut oil is very good because oftentimes this is so funny. I had a young lady that, well, I say young lady, but she was in her 70s, and she was asking me about the how does she cure the vaginal dryness, or how does she work through that. And I told her about the coconut oil, because her biggest concern was that her medical doctor had given her a prescription, and when she looked at it, it had a lot of parabens in it. And she was like, well, I'm not putting that there. And I said, okay, well, the alternative or the natural way to do it is to use the coconut oil. And coconut oil does work.
Okay. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
All right. 9. Thou shall not be alarmed by totally normal discharge.
Okay.
So, normal discharge. And what she says
Yeah.
is she had she gives our flowers personalities. And so there are 5 different personalities that she gives our flowers. I'm not going to go through those, but I'll read what she has here. And what I'm reading is one of the personality names.
Okay.
She says, I thought I'd crack up laughing every time a certain coochie chondriac patient came in and said, Dr. Jackie, my monkey is funky again. And she came by a lot. She was absolutely convinced that her vaginal discharge not only had an odor, but that she and others could smell it when she was in the bathroom, at church, and at her job. I work with children, Dr. Jackie, she said. We have to fix this because if you smell, a kid would tell you to your face, but they hadn't because she didn't. Clear or whitish fluid is completely normal. How much or how frequently it is expelled is different with each woman and can depend on where you are in your cycle or how old you are. As long as you don't have a truly pronounced odor, any irritation, or a thick or discolored discharge, there's nothing to worry about. So a lot of times what happens is when we're going through our cycle and we are ovulating, we will discharge.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's our body's way of naturally letting us know we're ovulating or coming to the near ovulation, to the end of it. And that's our body's indication to us that, oh, our systems are changing a little bit there. Something's going on there. That monthly cycle is going through a transition. So just be aware.
So the young lady, the when she said the odor, I missed that part. I think when she said the odor, it wasn't pronounced enough for it to be a concern. So, but I guess that's what I'm trying to think. Then what is she saying? What is she saying, or what is her prescription for any type of vaginal odor?
So when you have vaginal discharge, a lot of times when we go to the bathroom, our bodies just have a natural odor. Our bodies have a natural scent to it. So she's saying this lady, which her personality is coochie chondriac.
Okay, got it.
So that's what we call her coochie chondriac. That's how she identifies her personality in the book. So she's like, every time I go to the bathroom, I can smell my odor. I smell my odor. Okay. And the doctor's like, well, are people complaining about it? You know, is something happening where someone is complaining about this odor that you have? And she's like, no, nobody else is saying that I have an odor. It's just me saying that I have this odor. And so she's asking the coochie chondriac, what color is it? And the lady is like, it's white. And the doctor's like, okay, hold on now. You're telling me that whenever you go to the bathroom or you declothe yourself or whatever, excuse me, you can smell your natural scent, basically. And you notice a white discharge, and the white discharge is perfectly normal. Your body is going to discharge. Okay. It's normal.
I like her personality.
Her personalities are hilarious. If you ever have the opportunity to check the book out, I encourage you to.
So is it, as you said, it's 5 personality types?
It's 5 personality types, yes.
Wow, we may have to do a part 2 on this one because I'm all in, and I don't know everything going on, but I have opportunity to read it, but we can explore it on the show. So maybe we have to talk about the 5 personality types. We'll see. But wow, that was too interesting.
There are 5 personality types, but that's what she's saying. So some of us who I can't exactly remember what the coochie chondriac is, but the coochie chondriacs are the people who every time something's going on with the body that's different with your coochie or your tulip or your flower, you run into the doctor like, oh my gosh, something is happening that's not supposed to be happening.
I'm sorry. I'm already putting my vote in. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about the personalities on the next episode or one upcoming episode. I think it'll be a hilarious episode because then sometimes, and a lot of women, it's going to help a lot of women because a lot of times they won't go and look and grab a book. For some reason, some people just don't like to read, but they will look at a video. That's why videos are so popular nowadays. They'll look at the video and say, oh, wait a minute. I'm a coochie chondriac, hypochondriac.
Yes.
Oh man,
hypochondriac. The hypochondriac, coochie chondriac. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for our next show. But okay, so So the totally normal discharge. Okay, so we have so we're on number 10.
And we are on number 10. So number 10, which is the one that you were very interested in, is thou shalt not use soap.
Yes.
It says, give your queen bee 3 weeks without soap, and trust me, you'll find her happier. If you can't imagine not using soap, just try it for 1 day to see how it feels. Then try a second day. Then see if you can make it to a week. Chances are you'll realize that you feel less dry, less itchy, and perhaps less irritated. If you absolutely have to put some sort of cleanser on it, I recommend a small dab of 100% organic tea tree oil to kill odor. It has some sanitizing properties when placed on your skin, but it's not meant for areas with mucous membranes.
Okay, I'm out. I can't do it. I'm already I'm a very optimistic person, but yeah, no, I can't see that. I mean, I'm talking lather.
Lather. Like lather it down.
I don't think I can go out the house without the lather. And I use natural. Sometimes they don't lather up now that I've switched over. They don't lather up as well, but I mean, what is she saying? Just use water?
She said just use water.
That's
no. Out with some water.
No. If she had said a dab of it, she had me all up until number 10. If she had said a little bit of vinegar water or something like that, maybe I would have said, I'll try it. But okay. Yeah, she got me 9 out of 10. I'll work on it, but I'm gonna be honest, I can't do the no soap thing.
That's what she said.
I can't do the no soap thing.
I love Dr. Bonner's products because he has a tea tree oil mixed with the castor oil, right?
Okay, yes.
But I'm not sure that I've ever used just water every day either myself.
No, I can't. I won't even be able to walk right. So I don't have no issues and none of that, but I don't want none. I don't want any issues, so I can't even pass that one along. So ladies in the comments, please tell us what you think about that one. That one right there, that one. I mean, and I don't take anything away from the doctor here, but
maybe that's when we do things like making sure we eating our healthy doses of pineapple and mangoes and apples and things like that.
But do you realize how many things that girl do? So how can you not? How can you not use soap? I mean, even after intercourse, you have to go and you have to freshen up. I mean, okay, I'm a tad bit of a germaphobe. We'll throw me up there first. I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. So, all this getting up after, I'm going to do that anyway. But no soap?
I just believe in being very clean. And
yes.
Also at the same time, doctor, I think with the no soap too, and why we're like, okay, you done got us all the way up to number 9. I don't know about that number 10. It's because our culture promotes the use of all these hygienic products too, and how we should take total hygienic care of ourselves. So that may have something to do with it. I'm not here to say you're wrong or you're right. I'm not here. And if there's someone listening that does not use soap, please enlighten us.
No, because I mean, okay, I went to the crystal deodorant. I came out of the deodorants with aluminum in it, so I used the crystal deodorant. I wet the ball and I used that, and I've been using that for a couple of years now, and I love it. But when I first started, I used it dry, and I was like, I am so for the natural products, but if I'm going to not be confident when I walk out the door or standing over somebody, I am not going to do this. So I used the water and I wet it, and I was okay with that. But yeah, so we're gonna have to. Somebody, I don't know what's gonna happen with that one, and maybe it is so deeply in my,
Yeah,
you just lost me with that one. I don't even have the right words. I can't even recompose myself.
Well, I was like, ooh, people might not feel too good about number 10, but
Yeah, no,
I was
yeah.
concerned about number 10, and I've heard so many mixed reviews on number 7. You know, people who's like, who does not douche? Who in the
No,
heck
number
is that
7. But yeah, I can agree with number 7 because I don't have an issue and I don't. So that's not a problem for me. And
right?
but yeah, oh my goodness. I'm still reeling. I don't even know what to say. I mean, she knocked me way off my square with that one. Everything else, I said, okay. I even picked up a couple things. I picked up the pat down. I'm gonna do that one, the pat down, and I understand the soaking in the showers because I love my showers. So I do the soaking in showers tub. I love that too, but I can do all that. But when you got down to but let me tell you, see, some people may watch this episode and not watch the other episode. So I did a hack. I did a hack with my daughter. It was beauty hacks and just pearls of wisdom with my daughter. And it was so funny because when you talked about the honor thy aroma?
Yeah.
Honor thy aroma. Man, we were taught. Now, so my mom taught us to put perfume on our behinds, right? And so one day a girlfriend of mine was walking behind me and she said, girl, your bottom smell like roses. I think that day I just had sprayed a little crazy, right? She said, your bottom smell like, she was coming by me on the stairs, like, girl, I smell roses. And your behind smell like roses. And I was like, okay, maybe I overdid it that day, okay? Maybe I did, okay? So I was telling them about the Jean Naté. You remember the Jean Naté?
No.
Okay, so I'm dating myself. So, girl, I poured the Jean Naté in my hand, and I'm just patting like I pat on the baby's bottom, and made a mistake. And I did not honor the tulip, the rose, the flower, whatever she is. And oh my land, I patted the wrong. Oh my goodness, with a handful of Jean Naté, and that was like a liquid body splash. I was over the fan. I thought I was gonna have to call EMS. Oh my gosh, I was running for the ice train. I had a whole fire situation going on. So when she say, I could totally get with the doctor on honor thy aroma. It's not even meant for there. I get it.
No.
But yeah. Okay, I can see the non aromatic soaps. I can get that. So I'm not gonna tell nobody which way to go. I'm just saying for me. Yeah, they'll always get my dollars on some soap.
Yes. So those are the 10 commandments.
Oh my gosh, this was such a fun time. So we're gonna have to commit to the other. I think that's gonna be a great part too. Yes, but how would you like to conclude this episode? My cheeks are hurting, and this is the perfect way to end the day.
I agree. I just want to conclude by saying, ladies, if you are never too young or too old to get familiar with your body, please get to know what you look like, know what you smell like, know what a natural smell for you is. Don't be afraid to educate yourself about our proper hygiene of our bodies and taking good care of our tulips, our flowers, because some of us are carnations, some of us might be tulips, some of us may be roses.
She just teasing us. That's a teaser for the next show. So you got to tune in so you can identify and know,
So, but it's very important because it's a very delicate, like flowers, we're delicate. We're delicate in our lady parts. And that's something we have to learn how to take very good care of. So don't be afraid. Don't let it be a taboo issue to the point where you aren't aware of how to take care of your health. So
absolutely, and make sure
the most important thing is
and don't be afraid to ask questions. Find somebody that you can, we talked about it before, how important it is to have a sister girlfriend or somebody that you can talk to openly and ask questions. Don't be ashamed. The only what is it? They say the only dumb question or whatever is the one that you don't ask. Because none of us know all the answers. None of us have all the answers. We're all still trying to figure it out too. So it's no shame or no harm in asking and finding a sister girlfriend and lock arms with and walk down this whole journey called life together, just asking questions and figuring it out.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. This was a fun one. I enjoyed it.
I did too. I did too. Well, until next time, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with another sister girl, because you never know. Somebody needs to know what we just went through today, what we just talked about.
Absolutely.
Make sure
Yes.
you stay fearless. Bye for now.
Toodles.